going back to the funding request, the White House has requested $22 billion. $4 billion of that is for international assistance. Why the American taxpayer should want to spend $4 billion of their money.
That's why we've provided the economic assistance and aid, and you'll continue to see that from us and from our allies.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and let me know your thoughts. Money going overseas to assist other countries, help out with war and the pandemic, or money here in the United States to help out the American people, and maybe some stimulus check provisions or additional provisions to help us with this economic crisis we're hearing is on the way. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. We're going to be seeing the White House's response to all this in video footage. This is your breaking news, stimulus check update, and stimulus package update. Now, you're going to be hearing the White House's response as they're saying to think that we can just put up walls and isolate ourselves in this pandemic and this global inflation crisis, they said is just naive. And they're going to be saying that we have to do certain things to help out other countries. But a lot of people are saying we're still hurting right here, right now, and there's unfulfilled promises from the Biden administration for $2,000 stimulus checks, Social Security increases of $200 per month, plus an extension of the solvency, which we're hearing will be running out, and then they'll only be able to send out 80% of Social Security benefits to recipients. Also, child tax credits. Now, there is a lot of talk about child tax credits from both Republicans and Democrats. We are likely going to be seeing new forms of legislation getting pushed through in Congress after these midterm elections, and also SNAP benefits are continuing on. If you missed my video last night, you're going to want to check it out, as we're hearing that there are new states approving and extending the emergency SNAP benefits and sending that out to families. But you guys, there is a lot unfolding, but amongst all of this, we're hearing money, requests for billions and tens of billions of dollars is being sent out to foreign countries overseas to help out with their situations. Now, let me know your thoughts. Should we be sending out money across the seas? If we do, how much should be going out to them and how much should be for the American people? Should there be a percentage, a certain amount allocated, proportions? If we're going to send this over here to help them, we also need to send some to help out our people, or should we not? Inflation is out of control. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Now, also, midterm elections are only 13 days away, and we're going to be seeing if the American people are convinced that Democrats are on the right track, if they've done enough, and they're going to keep them in power. Right now, they're in full control in Congress, in the House, the Senate, and the presidency, but we're hearing it looks like a red wave is on the way, and we could see a Republican Congress take over in the Senate and in the House with a sitting Democratic president, which would spell disaster for Biden's agenda, and his approval ratings are already pretty bad, so it'll be not a good 2 years likely for Biden. And then in 2024, we're hearing that could spell a Republican presidency for whoever comes up against President Joe Biden. But we will see, and I will keep you up to date. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and take a look at this video footage. Now, this came out yesterday from the White House as they're going to be responding to funding for foreign countries. Now, before we dive in, though, do me a quick favor. Smash the like button if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Any specific questions, Instagram at SteveRam3. Best way to get a hold of me. Here on YouTube, there's scammers that take my picture, pretend to be me, and tell you to contact them on WhatsApp. I don't have a WhatsApp, I'll never send you a phone number, and I will never ask you to wire me money, so please don't fall for that. Also, I got a second channel, Steve Ram Finance. Be sure to check that out for growing wealth and personal finance. Check out my kids' new channel. Thank you for all the support. They released a new video yesterday, and they're having a blast. I'm very proud of them. They always love hopping on the lives with me. Well, they just said, Dad, we're starting our own channel, so check that out, Liam and Naya. And also, you guys, if you want access to the comprehensive list of every stimulus check in the nation for states, cities, counties, I've assembled it. Took me 3 months, put it all into one place, try to make it as affordable as possible. If you want access to that, it's at www.reliefroadmap.com. But with that being said, you guys, let's take a look at the video footage. And again, let me know your thoughts as we hear the White House's response on funding as of yesterday.
Just going back to the funding request, the White House has requested $22 billion. $4 billion of that is for international assistance. Can you just explain from like a public health perspective why the American taxpayer should want to spend $4 billion of their money to accelerate response overseas and why it matters for the health of Americans?
Absolutely. Global outbreak, right? You heard today from the president, global health emergency. Therefore, it needs a global response. And that certainly has been our footing in the administration. The U.S. has gotten more vaccines out than any other country in the world. I think about 650 million doses. The problem at this point is not vaccine supply anymore. It is about getting shots in arms. And I'll talk about why it is so important. Every single major variant that has hit the United States has originated from outside the United States. So the notion that we can somehow wall ourselves off and not be affected by what's happening in the rest of the world is just naive. It's just not how transmissible viruses like this work. So even if you think about it from a very narrow self-interest, it's very important that we get much of the world vaccinated, that we help build out the kind of vaccination program. But beyond self-interest, America is a country that has deeply engaged in the world. The president has restored American leadership on global health in a way that was very different than the previous president. And so for a whole set of reasons, it's very, very important that America continue to lead. $4 billion is a small investment to make to better protect Americans and better protect the world.
So there you have it, you guys. The White House saying that every variant that has reached the United States and caused us to shut things down and have problems with our systems and impacts us economically, they have always started in other countries and then made their way to the United States. So they're saying that we have got to address this globally and send out help to the countries where this is starting up. Otherwise, this is going to keep plaguing us and it's going to keep hurting our economy, which is in bad shape right now. So let me know your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How do you address something like this? Well, you guys, also, we're sending out funds over to Ukraine to help deal with the war that's going on over there. Let me know your thoughts on that and take a look at the White House's response on that as well, as they're saying the funding is going to continue to go out to support them and help them, and they're also going to be trying to do everything they can to step in and provide efforts for peace treaties. Take a look, you guys. Let me know your thoughts.
There have been some assertions recently from Republicans and also from progressive lawmakers in a now withdrawn letter that the U.S. should be more actively involved in leading peace negotiations between Ukraine and Russia. What's the White House's response to that?
We've been very clear about that. That is up to Ukraine. That is up to the president, President Zelensky. There is nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. We've been very clear about that. Our job, as we see it today, as we've seen it for this past year, more than a year, is to make sure that that Ukraine has what it needs on the ground as we see this war happening in Ukraine, and that's why we've provided the security assistance that we have. That's why we've provided the economic assistance and aid, and you'll continue to see that from us and from our allies. And so that is to make sure, and we're doing this to strengthen their hand, not just on the battlefield, but if they choose, if Ukraine chooses to negotiate. But again, that is up to President Zelensky, and he will make that decision for his country.
Thanks, Corinne. Following up on that, did anybody from the White House ask or advise members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus to rescind that letter as they did?
I don't have any comment to make about that letter. Again, we are very appreciative to the bipartisanship that we have seen from Congress these past 8-9 months, even over a year, on the funding that we've been able to provide, the bipartisan funding that we've been able to provide. And so, the president has been also very clear. He said this recently, our support to Ukraine is a lot bigger than just Ukraine. It's about supporting NATO and all of Europe. It's about making sure that Putin is not able to succeed through his brutal actions, as we have been seeing. Our support for Ukraine will remain strong until the end of this war. And so, again, we appreciate the bipartisan effort. We're going to continue to be in conversations with members of Congress on how to continue to move forward in order to support Ukraine in their efforts. Don't have more to say about that particular letter.
So there you have it. The White House justifying and saying more economic funds are going to be going out across the seas to help out. We saw that letter was sent out by progressives saying that there should be more support and funding going, but then it was redacted, and they're saying it's going to continue on. Now, of course, the question everybody wants to know is, what about here locally in the United States? Is 80% of the population is saying their number one top concern right now is economic issues, inflation, a recession, and what's going to be unfolding, as we're getting a lot of warnings. We've actually literally heard 100% chance we are entering into a recession It's not going to be good. And as a result, we've heard stimulus checks likely could unfold, fourth federal level checks, and people have been waiting for that $2,000 check that the Biden administration had promised over a year ago. We will see. Now, whatever unfolds, I'll be sure to keep you up to date, but we're hearing a lot of promises, and we're also hearing after these midterm elections, there's going to be a lot of legislation hitting, but I'll keep you up to date every step of the way, you guys. But that is the latest, as of yesterday, updates from the White House. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash the like button if you appreciate the updates. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. Any specific questions, Instagram at SteveRam3. Check out my second channel, Steve Ram Finance. Check out the kids' new channel, Liam and Naya. They've got 2 videos on there. If you got little ones, I hope they enjoy it. And also www.reliefroadmap.com to access the comprehensive list of every stimulus check in the nation. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.